Hey everybody, Radaman here. Thanks for tuning in to Oxygen Not Included, Episode 9. Here's a little review of the game settings that we've got. So, picking up where we left off, we had just started to make a place to store our slime where we can kill the slime off. This is going to be important for when we expand into the slime biome and have really nowhere to put it. But I did want to make some changes to my base as it is now. One of the changes is I want to add some sinks into the ore scrubbing lineup. What sinks are going to allow us to do is to wash ourselves so that we don't spread slime lung or any other germs around, which is going to be pretty important. So let's get some tiles down here. And then for plumbing, we're going to want to bring fresh water over to the sinks, and then polluted water away from where the sinks will be placed. So go to Medicine tab, get sinks. 1, 2, 3. 3 should be enough. We have 3 ore scrubbers, 3 sinks. Should be fine. There, done. Other little projects that I want to work on. Another one is to sort of, well, here's some printables. Supply, operate, build. Twinkle toes. Okay, I guess gold amalgam. Another is to separate what's behind airlocks from everywhere else, which is kind of an important project to do. So the first thing about that is I'm going to have insulated tile a straight wall just because it looks nicer. And that also means we can get rid of some of the slime on the other side of the wall here. I'm actually going to be removing moving some things around a little bit. Because another thing we're going to need for this slime storage is to pump all the non-chlorine out first. Another side project, somewhere to store water to be... Oh, I don't have enough copper. But store water that is to be filtered, so that we don't have any sewer backups or anything like that. That's going to be another important one for us to do. So let me hit some copper nodes. Get working on that as well. All these sinks are copper as well. Alright, so I have a lot of construction projects. Quite a lot of construction projects. Here, let me start pumping this cold stuff out. And Angelia is sparkle streaking because her morale is so high. Lovely. That's what I like to see. So that means that right here, at this tile, this is where our ladder is going to start to descend. I'm not going to descend the ladder until we have a completed slime storage solution. That's a bit of a tongue twister. But, alright, so that's the last of this auto bottler. We won't need that anymore. This is now a proper water lock. And we'll get the water on the other side delivered. So the reason for these sinks. The ore scrubbers only scrub the objects that our duplicants have in their hands at the time that they pass through them, but we could have germs like slime lung or something worse on our suits. So these sinks will help to prevent the possibility of our suits bringing in germs through the water lock here, which is, yeah, pretty important. Let's go ahead and the hatch eggs and the sage hatch we are going to crack. I don't want sages. Sages eat like organics and turn it into coal, but we're going to want more. We don't want to turn organics into coal because we don't have a surplus of organics, whereas we do have a surplus of other things. So turning organics into coal is just not a very good idea. Another thing I wanted to do is surround new excavation with additional deodorizers so that we don't have a situation where we release any polluted anything anywhere. We're very careful about our pollution protocols, I guess is one way to phrase it. I'm going to build another ration box. So these ration boxes are just for, like, worst case scenario, our farms failed type storages. And that's why I'm putting them in. Okay, so this auto bottler can stop because we've actually too much water here. It's funny to think, but yeah. Let's cut that out. So now the water locks are done, and we just need to pump out all of the gases that are in here so that we can fill it with chlorine and have it be chlorine and chlorine only. Now that we have sinks, we can set up the directionality of the sinks. I think all the plumbing, yeah, all the plumbing is done on the sinks. We just need to build them. And liquid reservoir. I'm going to make the liquid reservoir out of iron, I guess, because we simply just don't have the copper stored. If you can always take a look at the difference between iron and copper. You know, its suitability for construction. Iron and copper are relatively similar to one another. Slightly different melting points and all that, but they don't have any... Unlike gold amalgam, iron doesn't have any, like, special heat properties or anything like that that makes it superior for, you know, other uses. So at this point, I think what we'll do is right here and here is going to be our ladders down. I'm going to have to move these deodorizers yet again. Just a constant redesign. As I change my mind about where I want to put things. Now, at the moment, we don't really have the materials to make a fire pole. So I'm not really going to worry about the fire pole. But the fire pole will go here. So this does mean that this ladder will cut through this polluted water pool. And we're going to need to pump that out. Which is why I have a liquid reservoir to support the additional surplus of sieved and filtered water. Because we're going to get to a point where we're going to need to address some additional filtration. Yeah, so I'm going to put in a token fire pole, just as a fire pole will be here at some point. You know, when we get the metals. But that's... Or maybe if we get the metals. I suppose I could make it in iron. But I'm not going to really go out of my way to mine up too much extra iron at the moment. So I'm going to have many deodorizers, making sure that we don't have an outbreak of polluted oxygen as I mine up slime. Right when we mine up slime, unless it immediately drops into a pool of liquid, it will start to outgas polluted oxygen, which then helps to spread slime lung around. So a lot of deodorizers around where I'm going to be mining up some slime is going to help to curtail like a breakout. I'm also planning on walling in my base so that we don't have access to these areas here. So I'm going to want to sweep this up now because soon it will be isolated and a lot harder to sweep later. Oh, we have duplicate skills, copious free time. Let's have you max out ranching. So now with the sort of trough here, we can keep the carbon dioxide where it is. As long as I don't work to displace it somehow, it won't be a problem. So the last part of this equation is the cable. I might want to... No, we do need these powered on. I'm going to need to reconnect these pumps to make sure that my ore scrubbers are supplied. Choosing blueprints. I will just go with a wart seed. Taking a look at the temperature I've got here. We could put... I actually don't know where I'd put my wheezewort. I'm going to put a deodorizer here just in case. So I'll put a wheezewort here. Trying to negate a little bit of the chlorine temperature here. It's not going to do much. It's like trying to fight the tide with a bucket. But, you know, an attempt can be made. As you can see, these wheezeworts here are doing a pretty good job of cooling this area down. This was a lot hotter previously. And the wheezeworts, with all of them, are helping to fix that situation. Okay, so there's some slime up here that is emitting polluted oxygen that I had... oh, you know what? This pufflet probably puked it up and caused that problem. So it's important for me to get slime... Because, okay, right now that slime is not spreading slime lung, which is good. But it will. Given time. So, getting storage for that slime is going to be important. Alright, the gas pump here is totally in a vacuum now, so I can remove it. Let's remove the pumps and everything. And then I'll hook up the gas vent to have the chlorine outgas to this little pocket. And then that will make for a perfect slime storage. Because slime dies in chlorine. And then pressurized chlorine will also prevent the slime from outgassing. So, a 2-for-1 combo, in other words. Another project that I suspect I'm going to need to undertake soon is a proper hydrogenated Draco farm. So once these Dracos lay some glossy eggs, Right now, I'm not actually ranching the Drekos. I'm just keeping them. If I wanted them to be reproducing reed fibers, I'd have to have them in a hydrogenated environment, which I don't have. They're just sitting there to hatch glossy eggs, which allows me to ranch plastic. So I don't actually care about those Drekos. And I don't care about the resources they might add. So now, at this point, let's go... Oh, I guess I accidentally destroyed some critical plumbing and ventilation. Let's go emergency build to fill this vacuum up with chlorine. And once the pressure goes beyond 1,700 grams, slime wouldn't be able to outgas. So we can put a storage bin in here at 7 priority. And that gives us a place to store our slime where it will become sterilized. And it's beyond the water lock so that it can't harm or infect our duplicates. So, organic slime here, set to 9. Very, very, very important that slime goes in there. It doesn't actually need to be 9, but I'm going to set it to 9 anyway. So now we pick up the slime that this pufflet has belched, essentially. And we've swept everything beyond this wall, for the most part. I mean, there's a little bit of clay, but we've swept the majority, so I'm going to wall it up. It is going to be on the other side of the wall. So now here we have a little bit of slime storage. And what I can do is to start to mine up the slime. And it will be stored. It will be stored in a situation where it can't harm anyone. It can't outgas or anything. So if we take a look at the gas overlay here, this is 100% chlorine at 200 or 2k kilograms or 2,000 grams or whatever, preventing this slime from outgassing polluted oxygen, which makes a good storage spot. And we can also mine up this slime as well. One of the reasons why I'm digging this up is I don't want this slime here spreading around its slime lung anywhere. Now that we have the... Alright, let's temporarily disable the water sieve. Now that we have this backup water storage container, I can set it up so that it holds the water to be processed. And that way we won't have sewage backups that will stop our showers, sinks, and lavatories from working correctly. And let's turn off intake and turn on the water sieve. Let this filter out every last drop of polluted water, and we can flush it. So now water that gets sieved will go into the liquid reservoir for holding, so we don't get like a overflow backup problem. As you can see, there's a place for it. Another thing I could do is to sort of further automate this area. Things that would be nice to add is a liquid filter. Yeah, I guess I could set a liquid filter up right now, actually. So let's reroute this. So the liquid filter allows us to not double filter fresh water that exits the liquefiables. You could alternatively have 2 liquefiable storage bins, one for polluted ice and one for non-polluted. But this liquid filter could do it too. Where what we could do is liquid. We'll just say like, hey, if you're polluted water, you get filtered out the orange here. Let's reroute this plumbing pipe a little bit so I have some space. And then if you're not polluted water, you just get dumped to this is going to look a little convoluted, but if you're not polluted water, you get dumped to straight into the filtering. Something like this. And then we'd want to wire this up so when the pump's running, the liquid filter's running. Ooh, one who's many just leveled up. And let's give one who's many tinkering. Next level, one who's many will be able to tune up our power. Our coal generator, which would be really nice. It would generate more power. Once we get there, I'll explain. So now, if you look, from this pipe, it goes intake. If it's polluted water, it goes down to the sieve. If it's fresh water, it goes up to the reservoir. I am getting brownouts, though. To stop brownouts, I could just double up my battery. Let's do that. Let's just have another smart battery. Eventually, I'm going to have to upgrade my entire power grid to accommodate for the increased power requirements that my base will have. But for now, I'll just leave it. Now, I suspect if I'm about to do a bunch of research, or rather, I should rephrase, if I'm about to go filter a bunch of polluted water, which I'm set to do, I'm going to want to queue up some research because this aquifer research requires a lot of water, and this well here will fill up. I don't want that. So we should have, yep, slime. That is totally cleaned of slime lung at this point. So another smart battery we can put in there. And we have a printable. Another oxyfern seed. I don't need the food, and I don't like the dupes. So this oxyfern seed can go right here where I had already set up a spot for it for this little well of carbon dioxide. Nope. There goes my refined metals. So, just doubling up the amount of power storage I have so that at night I don't brown out. Just sort of a nice thing to do. And now I'm gaining access to up here again. Where this stupid Puffed is going to keep puking out slime, making this a even more polluted area. Angelia, let's give you construction. So what happens here is, right when slime gets mined up, you've got a situation where it will start outgassing polluted oxygen, and then the polluted oxygen can have slime lung on it. So as you can see, part of these ladders here have a little bit of slime lung. The storage bin, however, you'll see quickly the slime lung will die off. And then you could also have slime lung, when you're carrying around slime, you can have slime lung on your suit. And if it's on your suit, and you don't wash your hands, which is, in effect, washing your entire suit, you'll bring it back into the base. So here, as you can see, the storage bin that has a slime lung, because of the chlorine environment, it will kill off the slime continually and become, sterilized. By design. So let's continue this ladder down. Actually, let's mop this here. And then continue the ladder down. Or both. So this will be a good example. Let me slow time down a little bit of the liquid filter. So it's pulling up water. And if it's clean water, it goes straight to the reservoir. If it's polluted water, it goes down to the sieve. And that way, putting clean water through a sieve just requires extra power and resources. Filtration medium. So, it's wasteful to purify already cleaned water. There's no point in doing it. So this filter will help to separate the two out so that we don't waste resources or whatever. Alright, so now the batteries will charge up when they're able. This coal generator really needs a tune-up so that it's generating more power. I could also add a second generator in, but I'm actually okay with just the one generator I have right now. So instead of having to continually spray these tiles here, because there's slime here that is just infecting everything, now that I have a place to store the slime, I can just, kill off the slime and not have to continually spray tiles or anything like that. Kind of nice. This here, if mined, will leak water, I guess, down here. I don't really care. Again, at this point, it is on the other side of the airlock, so it's not that harmful to me. And really, all of these walls could just be broken down. Okay, let's mop up sweep up the slime. Because it put just mine it here. It put polluted water here, but I was eventually going to just ladder all the way down to this pool here anyway, so it's really of not any consequence. So we're going to put a liquid pump here, and then bring this polluted water all the way up. Just in case of directions, I'm just going to make sure it goes only... My polluted water only goes to the sieve. But this also means that I'm going to need to run... Oh, I have such a severe lack of copper. I'm only going to want to run... Yeah, let's do this in iron. Polluted water to the sieve and not the other direction. So let's get this built. I don't need sweep errands here. So this water will run down to the to this ice biome, and I don't actually plan on utilizing this area really anymore, so I don't really care what happens over there, which is why I just let that run out. And because everyone wears a suit over here, it doesn't really matter if we get our feet wet, right? Like, I could mop it up if I wanted the water, but it isn't mood modifying anymore. Because it is nice and secure. No glossy eggs yet. Maybe I should start planning to have glossies, though. Okay, so here you can see both batteries filling up, so I've effectively doubled my power capacity. And that way, in the middle of the night, when no one can refill the coal generator, I still have some, like, leftover power. So what I can do is just... Actually, let's just mine up the whole thing. The whole shebang. I could even, if I wanted to, mine out this entire slime. Yeah, let's do that. Huge, huge project, but hey, you know, it has its hidden benefits. Being able to get rid of all this slime and crap. And we can always use the slime later on. Just because it's infectious doesn't mean it isn't useful. I might maroon some people in doing this mining queue. So what I'm going to do is... Let me set up some ladders. To aid in the removal of this entire area. And then wherever I see slime lung, or wherever I see slime, I'm just going to have to make sure I'm deodorizing constantly. So that we don't have an outbreak of aerosolized slime lung anywhere. And then down here, you want a pump really the lowest you can have it. So I just lowered my pump a little bit. There. Now the utility of this is once we remove all the slime out of here, it will self-cure. And over the course of, honestly, it will be many cycles, but over the course of many cycles, it will be free of pollutants and stuff we wouldn't necessarily want, with the net benefit of being able to use this area however we want. Whether we want to use this area for agriculture or power or storage or, you know, big areas like this. Like, let's say, I'll give you a hypothetical. Let's say I find some natural gas reservoirs. I could set up gas reservoirs in here to store the natural gas for when we need to generate power. That would be an instance where we would be able to, you know, use this entire area effectively. All right, some new printables. I don't want to pufflet. Let's get a pufflet, but then immediately kill it. Sorry, pufflet. I don't want you puking slime everywhere in my base, but I will take the barbecue. So if we check, as you can see, the slime lung germs are spreading because I obviously just hit the mother load of slime. But as long as I'm filtering the oxygen, the polluted oxygen, and storing the slime appropriately, we're not going to have a giant outbreak. And with all of the protocols I've set up, it shouldn't breach through this water lock. It just doesn't have the capacity to do so. And then up here, I'm going to set up deodorizers to start to clean out this area, because this used to have slime and slime lung. As you can see, there's higher concentrations here, but if I do purify all the polluted oxygen up there, it will eventually sterilize. So here's a good instance of Angelia, who's got... What are you holding? Wait, where are you bringing your muckroot? Oh, you ate it. That shouldn't even be allowed. Let's quit eating muckroot altogether. And no nutrient bars either. Pickled meal's okay. Gristleberry, fried mushrooms, omelets. Yeah, that's all alright. And then meat. Oh, no, not meat, because we only want to eat barbecue. So barbecue is okay, yeah. There. That was an instance of our, just our settings were wrong. Okay, we unlocked some furniture here. I'm just researching as much as I can to try to empty out this water. I know that sounds weird, but it's because as soon as we get this this liquid pipe and this pump set up, we're going to have an influx of water that we might not even, you know, have a place to put it. So I queued up a bunch of research to use up water purposefully. Now here we are starting to deodorize, and as the polluted oxygen turns to unpolluted oxygen, it will start to, slime lung doesn't live in clean oxygen, so it will die out. And then additionally, I will start to deodorize this area as well. Because as you can see, there's a increasing amount of slime lung in the polluted oxygen. And until we turn it into fresh oxygen, it's only going to get worse. But here we have our storage bin of multiple tons of slime that are being handled, as the hazardous, it's a hazardous material, so we are handling it properly. And our containment protocols are keeping all of the nasty stuff out of the base. This base doesn't have any slime lung at all, because we're being careful. Yes, the ladders and stuff like this on the other side of the wall do, but, it won't get inside. Not if I can help it. Now, if you don't have sinks here, you will bring slime lung in on your suits. It's important that you have sinks for your suits so that you don't inadvertently carry slime lung into your base and defeat the... Because if you take a look, like here, Dennis Keith, tons and tons of slime on him, and as he washes his hands, his suit goes to 0, and then when he hangs up his suit, it's clean. Well, the double battery is not going to keep us from a brownout tonight, I don't think. You can always keep adding batteries for more battery capacity, but at some point, I'm just going to need to upgrade the my entire power grid. I'm not quite ready for that project yet, because I want to tap into an alternative power source before I do that. And if you're wondering what that means like petroleum or something akin to that. Another skill point earned for Dennis Keith. Bedside manner. Let's make sure we are sweeping up the slime. Now, one of the advantages of just leaving a big puddle of water is slime won't outgas once it's underwater. So if you mined all this stuff up quickly, this outgassing wouldn't have happened. I mean, there's no way to be perfect, surely, but, you know, you just do your best. So here we go. We've made pretty good use of this storage bin. Wow, none of my liquefiables have melted in quite some time. And I haven't even touched this area yet. And I don't intend to. I'll just do one spot at a time. Where are you going? Oh my. Picking up slime from far away. Sine curve leveled up. I guess I could give you tidying for plumbing. Oh wow, all my Weezeworts waiting for fertilization. That's alright. It's not super important they have the Weezeworts. I don't have heat problems yet. So now we are starting to deodorize, and that's going to pull... It's going to kill off the slime lung eventually. Provided I don't leave any pockets of unfiltered, polluted oxygen. We're getting pretty close to mining this all out. And our diligent containment protocols having the exact effect we intended. Making sure that nothing dangerous gets into our water or our air or into our duplicates. As you can see, the only pollution, or the only germs we have is floral scent. And we don't have anyone that has any allergies, so that's not an issue at all. And we'll just keep removing the slime and whatnot out of here until the time that we're ready to pump it all out and sieve it through. Let's take a look at priorities real quick. Make sure that our Weezeworts get a little bit more love than they're currently getting, which is none. So that they do get fertilized and are operating properly. Or, you know, at least not neglected. And some new printables. Arbor Acorn. So this is maybe I'll take one of those. It's a type of, well, it grows into a tree. Let me show you the arbor tree. And you can harvest the branches of the tree for wood. It grows in polluted water. It requires a ton, as you can see, polluted water. So it is expensive. But the lumber can be used to burn as a fuel source. And then also hips, which is a type of animal, will eat it as well. So here's the wood burner. Produces carbon dioxide and heat. Produces power. A little bit of power. You know, and that's another source of power. It's not one that I usually utilize. Let's see if I can see pips too. Pip. So pips here. Diet of arbor trees and excretes dirt. So having the option of an arbor acorn is nice because there's not easier ways to get it other than just to print it out if it's being an option. So when it's offered up as an option like it just was for me, I'll take it. Alright, so here we go. Now we're starting to pump the polluted liquid out of this reservoir here, and it will be then filtered, sieved and filtered. And we're almost done removing all of the initial slime out of this sort of construction area. Well, guys, that about wraps up episode 9. If you have any feedback for me, do drop me a line in the comments below. If you have any suggestions or questions, let me know as well. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll catch you all next episode. Adios.